for the samam bonam, they call it. In our ancient system, we call it bindu. Bindu means what? The dot. Many of our women are wearing. That is bindu. The whole world is so complicated and so diverse. The whole universe is so complicated, so diverse. It's impossible in a man's lifetime to understand anything about anything. But if you can extract them and put them in the bindu, when you are putting your tilakam, then you have achieved something. That means all the complicated, diverse, everything has to be brought together and then condensed and recondensed and condensed and brought it to a point which you cannot even see. And there the truth lies. The truth is so simple. But the moment we are going to go to a centrifugal arrangement to produce a PhD thesis, then we have to go for searching to say that this truth is a truth, otherwise it looks false. So to find material and beef up that ideas and arguments, then you make a thesis and then you get your PhD and you become a doctorate. But based on this, I would like to tell you that you are all music therapists right from now. You may be even better music therapists or raga therapists than me if you understand a very simple truth. The very simple truth is that there are only two types of music, whether it is raga or a melodic scale or melodies or western melodies, eastern melodies, northern, western, I don't know which are the melodies. If you want to distinguish them, you just use your feelings and not mind, feelings, and distinguish them into two bodies of melodic scale or ragas. One is absorbing melodies. They call it alpha raga. Alpha raga, why alpha raga? Because they found that there are melodies, when they are sung in your brain waves, the alpha brain wave concentrations increase. Although there are beta concentration, but alpha concentration increases because we are living in a sort of system, where when you sleep, then your alpha brainwave concentration is higher. If you cannot sleep, that means your beta concentration is higher. That means beta concentration has to be brought down to alpha level, and if you use those alpha melodic scales, there is a possibility, they say, to bring down, like the lullaby sung to the child brings down that beta concentration because the child is very agitated, It is not happy with the parents or it is not happy with the surroundings, and the parents have to put the child to sleep. Then you just pat and you do all sorts of gimmicks. Then you also sing, perhaps bring some sound, some lullaby, something like that. So there you use alpha types of music. The second one is beta music, beta ragas we call it, and I will explain that further later. Here actually, the balancing which I emphasized, balancing is the basic culture of the Indian subcontinent, the philosophy, the entire philosophy of the Indian subcontinent. If you make a samam bonam, if you make a bindu of it, then it is balance. They call it equanimity. The objective of a yoga system, whatever the objective, whatever you want to do in your life, what should be your goal? It's not making money or anything like that. It's becoming balanced. The moment you imagine a society where people are balanced, it's not that only one or two of us, who are fools who become balanced. The smart ones don't become balanced. Then what happens? The society is heterogeneous and there will be conflicts. If everyone is balanced, you just imagine, I think it will be very boring also, I think. We all like robo. So it's good that the society remains the way it remains. Why should we change? Let's not bother about it. But at the same time, for an individual, within me I want to be balanced. I don't mind, let there be chaos around me. Like a Nero, I will take a fiddle and play when Roman is burning. I can do that, You can do that. Everyone can do that. Because we cannot prevent Rome from being burned. So when we saw the definition of Matanga and the traditions of Raga system, we found that you have some questions?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Is there any specific delta raga or theta raga? This is you said alpha raga.
Right.
I'm keen on theta
Yeah,
raga.
it is a wonderful question you have asked, but it is a little diverting from me, but I will answer this. But more questions I will expect from you at the end of this. So this question I will answer because I will forget. I have got a very bad habit of forgetting challenges. So I don't take it as a challenge, but I find it's a wonderful question because it's very difficult for me to talk about it. Because as I told you, the brain itself is a mysterious organ, and these brain waves make it further mysterious. For instance, if I say that I am in beta, means I am in a wake-up state now. Now I am talking to you, you are asking to me, both of us are in beta wave. Right? So the moment I start sleeping, what happens? I get into alpha or theta. If I get into deep sleep, probably I become delta. In deep sleep, what do I know what I do? Even in sleep, I don't know what I do. I dream, I think that it is a reality, and when I wake up, I find, oh goodness, I am in Chennai. So how do I know what happens in delta? How do I come back to answer that question to beta level and then answer and then go back to delta? It's not possible because each level of consciousness is reality in its own way. That means we are simultaneously living in a reality of four types of reality. And what we think reality now is a beta wave reality. When you sleep, what you think is an alpha wave reality. When you dream, what you think is a theta level reality. Delta is a deep sleep, and we don't know. Deep sleep equated to meditation. I'm sorry, it is what they call samadhi state. We don't know what happens in samadhi state. I think one day all of us will go to that state, but now we don't know what is that state. Now this is the classification of ragas. Two simple ragas. You just say, whatever ragas relax you and cools you down, slows you down. Whatever music, why raga? Music. Any music which slows you down is alpha music. But there are some music activates you. Because the moment you use some music, you just wake up, Even Kumbhakaran was woken up by some music, And incidentally, in those music, if you see the mythological description of musical instruments, you find huge drums, not small drums. Huge drums have to be berries, they call it. So berries have to be brought. Then only Kumbhakaran will wake up. Otherwise, he will be asleep. So with those, and then certain ragas, which are more sort of with the ascending scale, more ascending scale.
Rock and roll.
Huh?
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll, maybe. It could be. We don't know. It could be a rock and roll style. So something has to be there to wake up, So the wake up ragas are all beta ragas. Active, stimulating. We also call Rajasik. Because in Ayurveda also there is a music therapy. They don't call it music therapy, but they're gunas, 3 gunas. Satwik, Rajasik and Tamasic. Now the same gunas you find everywhere. The gunas are attributed to people, attributed to animals, attributed to trees, flowers, fruits, food also. Satwik food you call it. I don't find any Satwik food in New Woodlands, I don't find. But it's all Rajasic food or Tamasic food I find. The Satwik food has to be alkaline, Alkaline food is the Satwik food. We find a lot of acidic food. We put more acid with tamarind. In Chennai they use more, I think they use too much of tamarind, Puli. It's like a tiger, it sounded. Well, the characteristics, if you remember, iterative. Iterative means it reiterates. Again. What happens if somebody talks to you again and again? What happens to you? Your tolerance limit has to be touched. Then it is iterative. You should get bored actually. You should become dull. I say, what nonsense going, but it's not leaving you. Because you are put in a room and I am singing, So you have to face music, literally. So there, monotony. In monotony has 2 meanings in music. Suppose I just put sa, it is monotony. That is also monotony, only one tone. And in psychological sense, the monotonous means very dull, like a lecture. So, it is relaxing. So, the idea is that all these elements have their own importance. When you want to put a patient to sleep or a child to sleep, you must go and search for these elements in music. Who's the very bad singer? You find out. Who's the monotonous chap? You go and find out. Because they give award for best singers. In fact, Nada Center of Music Therapy should give award for the worst singers. They should say he is the worst singer, but by his singing, people either they run away from the auditorium, or if you contain them, if you lock the door, they go to sleep. Because that is how the sleep is produced. Soporific means sleep production. It should be dull, it should be boring, and it should stop your thinking process altogether. Because the moment your thinking process is there, you are in beta state. So you have to be brought to alpha state. That is the problem with many of the people who are suffering from insomnia is because of they are not able to stop thinking. They are unnecessarily thinking. They are unnecessarily worrying. They are unnecessarily dreaming. They are unnecessarily not dreaming. Dreaming is a state of alpha. So they are thinking, overthinking, over worrying.
Hyper beta.
Hyper beta. There's a tremendous influence on the person's blood pressure and whatnot, because Dr. Sundar will be able to explain more authoritatively if I say it's something like a talk only. So what I feel is, this type of music finds its own value. It should not be, because in life everything has got its positive and negative value. Unfortunately, our brain, thinks too much to say that no, this is that, this is this, and that is that, and we want to finish it. No, this can be that, and that can be this. That is a discretion. That is the way we have to look at it. It's very easy to cut off things. It is very easy to condemn people. It's very easy. He's a useless person. Finished. But that's not the end of life. Maybe that useless person can be made very useful. That's what the human intellect should go for. So here, the alpha characteristics in this particular music, which I am not hearing now. Yeah. You cannot sleep now. When should I complete, sir? When should I complete? When do you want me to complete? You tell me, because a lot of nice music is there, and I think it's like opportunity cost theory in economics. That is, if you have something, you miss something else. So if you have Ratnai Kalpita Manasam, then you may miss something else. So if I know at what time I am finishing, it's now going to be 7-8 minutes to 12. So if I know from you, because I don't want to deprive you of your lunch, definitely, and before that I have to stop. We can have time for interaction at 12:50. This is what I've got. So I've got another 15 minutes to go. So I will just brush through. I will just give a sample of music. I will not be able to play that, but as I told you, the Bindu concept. Even a small, small pakad, they call it in Hindustani music, pakad. Pakad is pakad means catch. They catch the pakad to know what is this raga. You don't have to, sing the whole raga, elaborate it with alap and all that, alapana and all. So they can catch you just by saying pakad. So you pakad that, you catch that when I play that, right? This is Gandhigiri, means even alpha ragas go as a satyagraha. They can do satyagraha. Here you see how satyagraha is done. Here, actually, what satyagraha I mean here is that assertion. It's not necessary that a Satwik person can be cowed down. Rather, Satwik person can be as courageous as the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi. If you happen to read his biography, I think very few of us must have read, because it's not a very interesting. Satwik means like food. You don't get Satwik food. Like that, we don't get Satwik material. And I don't even find statues of Mahatma Gandhi. I used to find in Chennai somewhere in the corner, some statues and some crow on that and all that. Now I'm not seeing that. I don't know why. Probably he's too Satwik that he became like that. So he was not Rajasik. Because Rajasik means, it's more powerful, more captivating, more aggressive, people go for that. So Satwik Raga is also like that, But it takes some time. I find when I was young, I didn't like much of those Satwik philosophy or Raga or something. But as I grow old, as my body rhythm slow down, then I find that anything which is slow is more attractive for me, rather than anything which is fast. So why I am telling is this, that alpha ragas are never liked normally by teenagers. Normally. Maybe exceptions, because if you give a musical culture for a child, the child may like. But the children who are not exposed to music, I find they go for pop, they go for, I don't know what are the reggae, so many things are there. So here, the Satwik music also has some element of surprise or assertion. Because when you see the history of Mahatma Gandhi, when he did Satyagraha, he was not just like somebody, to be cowed down or something like that. Although he used this non-violence, no doubt he used non-violence, but he was a force to reckon with, because he could go and sort of do this, make salt, go to seaside and boil the seawater which is coming free, make a salt and get arrested and all that. He used to do these activities very often, and he used to sort of, that means there is an assertion. Because he believed in something, he said, I will assert, I will get into the jail, he said. It's not that I will sit in a corner, because I am very Satwik person, I am peace-loving, so, I will just go away and let others, do whatever they want. That sort of Satvikism is not there. That is this music reflects that quality. And these are the qualities which I talked about. Alpha characteristics. Should I go further? No. I don't have time, so I will go a little bit. Now I show something about emotional healing, because this is very important aspect I found, particularly the mentally challenged people who are emotionally prone, we have to go for emotional music. And most of our, this one is one of the emotional, I find Hamsanandi. Please don't think that it's only meant for mentally retarded. Even for mentally normal people, these are, because I find very little difference between mentally retarded and mentally normal. Sometimes I find mentally retarded more normal than mentally fit. So that sort of, this is what my experience is. So you have come to a wrong person. But at the same time, I must say that you try to categorize. That is why we say yes or no, like we say special children, we say this, we say that. You see, this categorization has harmed us more. Because there is no categorization involved. It's a human being is one person as a whole. There is no distinction. Although the society is making so much distinction. Somebody is class 1 officer, somebody is class 4 officer, like that. And somebody is this, somebody is that. We have made this system, and probably we are doing it very religiously in places like Chennai. I find this system is working very well, as it was working in 15th, 16th century. So medieval age. I find this in Chennai. And I'm glad about it, because, I don't have to go to 15th, 16th century to know what was the experience of me there. It's better I come to Chennai once in a while and enjoy this. there is an important concept which is developing here, pleasantness. Because I said ragas are not mere melodic scales. Unless they are going to be pleasant, unless they are going to color your heart, means pleasant, create pleasant feelings. Unless they are going to do that, they are not ragas. That means we find there are so many ragas, sad ragas. This one is one of the sad ragas. Amsananti. There is another raga which weeps and weeps and weeps. That is called Subha Panturali. I don't know why they call it Subha. That means weeping is good. And yes, it is good. For the people who are emotionally affected, weeping is good. Because I find